Welcome everybody. Thank you very much for joining us today for the very first CIS Roundtable of the new school year. And we're going to be focusing today on one of the most important topics we could have, which is very much part of the DNA of our school. As you all know, we were founded in 1983 by three extraordinarily visionary educational entrepreneurs. And what we'd like to do today is delve into that subject of entrepreneurship, which we believe to be so significant in a CIS education. I'm really happy to have with me members of our CIS community. We've got students and alumni and parents.
I'm Cheryl, and I graduated CIS when I'm alumni, graduating 2006. Entrepreneurship to me has meant learning very quickly. It means, as you know, with the evolving changes and all that, it means being very creative, problem solving very quickly, and trying to learn things very fast.
I'm Benjamin. I'm a year 12 student, so graduating next school year. And to me, I think entrepreneurship is an opportunity to create something new and also learn in the process. And that can be in any area you're interested in. And I think in turn, that's an opportunity to innovate, come up with new things, and also better the lives of other people.
Hi, I'm Kevin Lim. I graduated class of 04, so quite a while ago. And I am also now a CIS parent. I think entrepreneurship or entrepreneurs are, really creating a business or something that you can, as Benjamin said, help others, but also answering questions and providing solutions. So really able to adapt to the different problems that you're given.
Hi everybody, my name is Caitlyn. I'm currently in year 11 at CIS, and to me, entrepreneurship means being able to take risks and being able to approach different things from new angles. And because I personally believe that if you take anything and approach it from a different angle or a different perspective, it can become an opportunity.
Name is Kit. Entrepreneurship exists from the beginning of human beings. It could be as simple as something that you create to solve a problem in front of your backyards to solving the world's problem. It doesn't have to be super big. It could be as small as you want it to be. I think it's a spirit, something that we could all share, and something that could change the world and the community that we live in.
What's your first experience with entrepreneurship? What did you like about it?
My first-hand experience with entrepreneurship would be in year 8 when COVID just began. Actually, I decided to start my own graphic design logo business. And to be fair to myself, I had no experience in graphic design, no experience running any business before, or any experience within organization and marketing and so on. So that was really my first-hand experience, and I went into it cold, completely cold. And I think that was actually why I loved it so much. It's because I picked up so many skills along the way, whether it was branding, marketing my own brand, trying to reach out to new people, trying to get new customers, doing all the calculations to see the financials. It became something that was kind of my side part, other than school. When in the summer of year 8, the school actually offered a lot of courses, a lot of these summer camps and quick courses. So I signed up for one that was that was about entrepreneurship. And it was great because I actually got to sit down and learn, hey, this is what a pitch looks like. This is what I have to do to actually own a business. This is how they actually calculate finances. And I had no idea about all of that. And so that really opened my eyes. And I was like, hey, this is something that I really enjoy, something that I can do out of my time. And I'm really glad I got that opportunity to learn more and expand on what I used to have.
When I was still in the States, I was working in a kitchen, but I was reached out to somebody from Hong Kong asking me to design a warehouse space. And being, still working a 9-to-5 job back then, I said, sure, but, I was living in the US but designing for Hong Kong. I think for myself, I really like to be challenged a lot. And so that was kind of my first experience, having to design remotely and then having to find contractors, having to find materials, fabrications, and all that remotely. I think that kind of gave me, kind of sparked my interest in starting a business in interior design because of all the challenges that you need to face.
When I was at CIS, my first experience was that I started a magazine at the time, and it was called Solidarity. And this was the first bilingual magazine. CIS was really supportive in the sense that, I remember our teachers who were like, learn about margins, learn about how to format, learn about Adobe InDesign, learn about, bleeding, learn about printing, and all these questions that I never encountered. So I want to say that my first foray into entrepreneurship was because of this school.
My first experience with entrepreneurship would probably be starting a lemonade stand when I was 5 or 6 years old. And I think, the thing I really enjoyed about that was just the core part of entrepreneurship, seeing a problem and coming up with a solution, right? It's too hot outside in the summer, let's find a way to cool people down and get drinks to them. And then after that, I think that eventually led into Hangzhou Hawks. So that was a program in year 10 as part of the Hangzhou year. And we basically had a period of 2 months where we had to come up with our own business idea, and then eventually end up pitching it to parent investors while also creating an advertisement and actually creating an app for that product idea. And I really love the collaboration, the part of learning new skills, because you obviously approach it with a very new lens. You haven't done entrepreneurship much before, so I just really enjoyed learning new things.
How important is it for schools to be encouraging young people to become entrepreneurs or to learn about entrepreneurship?
I think that one of the traits that you would find in any entrepreneur is resilience and an internal confidence or a stubbornness not to fail, as you say. They do come back. And this sort of energy that, despite COVID, can't really dampen. You always have that sort of self-doubt. So that resilience to be able to say, you know what, I'm doing my best. Everyone's doing their best. I think that that's very difficult to teach. And I think that there has to be that supportiveness. I think at the end of the day, it does come down to character building and what kind of environment builds that type of character.
Two parts to educating entrepreneurship. One is the physical or basic tools and skills, which schools can do, right? There is a character development that you're alluding to, which is very difficult to teach, because it's almost against what school is about, right? Because you are literally building a character whereby they're going to push every single boundaries, not want to follow any rules, and let them be whoever they are, and let them fall down and have the pain, and be able to get back up. So I think the only other thing you could teach other than the tools and skills is basically providing emotional quotient education, right? Because you're going to face a lot of those issues, family issues, very personal issues, bankruptcies. You're going to sacrifice a lot of entrepreneurs sacrifice their family for the business. These are reality that ultimately whoever wants to be an entrepreneur, these are issues you're going to face. Now, that's why I say entrepreneur doesn't mean that it's something for everyone, but the skill set is very useful. Even if you don't become an entrepreneur, after you learn the skill sets in school, you can still use it.
Tell us a little bit about your experience with the model entrepreneurship competition.
For me personally, that was a really great opportunity, as I was able to practice entrepreneurship and develop my idea in a risk-free environment. And me, along with the rest of my team, we also learned a lot about entrepreneurship itself, how to make a pitch, how to present properly to investors, what are the key things you have to cover. And for me, it actually acted as a spark to go further and actually start a business. So because of that, me and a group of year 12 students, James, Michael, Tanya, and actually another student outside of CIS, we took our idea from the model entrepreneurship competition and decided to launch it in real life. So we're about to launch our platform, Fjord. So it means earth in Norwegian. And we chose that as our business is centered around helping people live a more sustainable lifestyle, to shop more sustainably.
My company is called Pet Partner. And so what our app does is we're trying to create a pet community. We're trying to help make it more easy for pet owners to care for their pets. And we have a lot of functions to help with that. So for me, what I learned, the most important lesson I learned from MEC is to cut the fat. This is to quote David. And so what cutting the fat means is to get rid of all the unnecessary information, to kind of trim it down to the most important basics, and to find out what is the most important, what is the core. And so what do I have to tell you? Because in MEC this year, we had 20 seconds to pitch our final pitch alongside of our business proposal about what our company was. And so after cutting everything down, we realized that our core revolved around our 4 C's, which became our company value proposition, which was community care, convenience, and credibility.
If I'm a young person listening to you now on this roundtable and I want to get involved, I'm in year 6 or I'm in year 9, what do I do at CIS?
I think just look at the world around you, right? See what issues you spot, and once you've found something which you think has potential for business and would help people, then talk to your teachers, maybe talk to your parents about how you can start a company from it, so you can come up with ideas for maybe a product or however you want to solve that issue. And yeah, I think just don't be afraid of failure, because I think it's a great time as a student to try and make a business. There's no risk. You can fail, nothing will happen. So I think the number one piece of advice would be just go for it, find an issue, talk to people as your teachers or adults will help you, and yeah, try your best. Yeah.
Who are the entrepreneurs who inspire you?
What entrepreneurship means is freedom, and that means freedom to have your own values or to value the things in your life. So if that means your family as well, and not just money, but family and other things, the thing is that it's a part of your life. It is not the overarching goal of your life. And so the people that I would probably respect are the ones that I probably don't know. Because if you spend your 120, 200, 300% of your time away from your family, yes, you will probably be more successful. But you would also not be that close to your kids at the end of the day. It's a give or take.
I think in this day of age, there's no set boundary for what is a business, right? I think a great example are YouTubers, for example. I saw one time this guy just counting water ball of some sort, and this guy was just counting them, and he was kind of like into billions, and just from that, that's a business. He's making money from that, and so I think as much as we always try to tell kids, you need to find something that makes money or something that's a real business. Yes, that is true, but I think there are also new boundaries nowadays that things don't necessarily conform to.
I think Kris Kardashian is a genius. The way that she marketed her own family and created such a successful, entrepreneurship, she basically treated her family as a business in a way, and she branded her kids so that they would be so successful. And her many business ventures make me, I look at her differently. I used to think she was just a pop icon, but right now when I look at her, I see that she sees gold. She knows how to find it. She knows how to look for these opportunities. And as I said earlier when I was introducing myself, anything when looked at a different angle or viewed from a different perspective can be an opportunity. And I think that's what she did.
My favorite entrepreneur personally is a man named RJ Scaringe. So he is the CEO of Rivian Automotive, one of the biggest electric vehicle startups in the US. So I think he's one of my favorites because I feel like he really embodies the entrepreneurial spirit. So he studied engineering in university, and then he went on to work at a variety of car companies, and he thought to himself, according to the articles I've read on him, the cars we have right now, they're not really fulfilling their purpose and they could be much better. So he basically quit his job and set out to create a new vehicle which would be much better and redefine the way we look at cars and the purposes we use them for.
On behalf of the CIS community, thank you so much for sharing of your experience and your insights. It's been deeply inspirational. I'm sure that there'll be young entrepreneurs who didn't necessarily know that they were entrepreneurs who've heard you and will be ready to take action now. And we also wanted to thank all of our viewers because for tuning into this CIS Roundtable. We appreciate the time that you've taken, and please take care, everyone.